Check 1 2, check 1 2, checking stream audio.
To the Bay Area, and I'm going to say QRZ to Bozo Net, K6MYC, Central California. Yeah, well, good evening, Paul. Good signal here on 1296, considering I'm pointed toward the Bay Area. But great to hear you, and hopefully you're staying dry and not too cold up there, over.
W6BBS.
Hang on, I can't hear you. I missed your call. Stand by. Okay, very good. Now, we're a little bit warmer than usual, too. It's not too bad out here in the barn. I'm in the barn tonight. Who was the other caller that called in while Paul was talking? This is K6MYC Bozo Net. Go ahead again.
W6BBS 72.
Yeah, good evening, Frank. And we're listening to the beacon in the other room, of course, not here, but in the other room it's been playing well. I'm sure that you probably could turn it off any time, although it might be good to let it run through the net and see who we get in here that can hear it. You might try checking the net, the beacon frequency again, Paul, because Frank has raised the power to 10 watts, and he's also raised the height of the loop, and it might just be possible for you to hear it now on 432.260. K6 Whiskey India Sugar with W6BBS, K6MYC.
No beacon. I can't turn it on. I'm on 1296.
Okay, never mind. He's using the 9700 right now on this band, so he does not have the beacon on at this time. I screwed up and forgot he had to have the same radio for the beacon. So it's not on at the current time, but you might check it in the morning, or perhaps later tonight for a few minutes he might have it on. But thanks for reminding me, Frank. I'm numb from the neck both ways here, over.
Yeah, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. is the beacon time, and I'm not going to be turning it on after that night or anything else. It's a power drain I can't afford, and it's more hassle.
Okay. 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. is going to be the pretty standard time he's got to turn it on to minimize the power drain when he does not have sun, over. Okay. And I'm pointed up into the Bay Area, but so far I'm hearing nobody in the Bay Area. We got you and me and Frank in here so far. It's got a little slim crew, but we just getting started with the net here, so maybe we'll have somebody. I haven't heard KW6S, but I should move the antenna down a little bit toward, but he can normally hear me if I'm pointed into the Bay Area. But let me just move the antenna a little bit here.
KM6SRR. He is down, he's low, and I told him 3 times, and he just like he was ignoring me. So he's operating below us and just talking away.
Who's operating below us?
KW6S.
Okay, yeah, he's up on frequency now. Frank, good evening, Tom, and good evening to you, Rob. KM6SRR and KW6S checking in. So let me shoot it to you, Tom. We missed you last night, but we hear you tonight. I don't know whether, well, K6USY does not have any link into my barn connection here, so he can't. He can do live streaming, but it would only be from his QTH, which doesn't hear very much on 1296, so we may not have any live streaming tonight. It should be back by tomorrow. We should be back on live streaming from the home QTH. I'm in the barn tonight. Take a transmission, KW6S, K6MYC, Merry Belated Christmas.
Seven 727.
Roger, hang on. Okay, very good. And we have 727 in here also. Mike, I'm pointed over toward Tom in Santa Cruz. You might point over toward Tom and say hello. I'm sure he'll hear your 600 here. WA6AAJ, K6MYC. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mike. Yeah, I was pointed north, so I'm swinging down towards Tom.
He's coming your way, Tom. Stand by. Rob, are you copying Tom over there?
No, I tried to peek on him. I couldn't find him there. Anyway, I'm going to go down and get my dinner prepared and be back up in a few minutes. Over.
Okay, very good. Where are you going today?
No, I was at work.
Yeah, you're not supposed to work this week. What are they doing?
Well, I just didn't want to have to make up time somewhere, so I'm down there working. I got lots to do. They got some important stuff they want me to do. Over.
Roger, roger.
KW6S, KW6S, WA6AHA, Delta Mike 06, over. Roger, Tom, KW6S, WA6AJ. Yeah, you're on the weak side tonight, too. I copy you, but it's not the normal. Anyway, thanks for the contact. Merry Christmas, WA6AJ.
How about your partner in crime, A6S? Is he going to be here, Mike?
Yeah, he was. I was talking to him down below, and he should be here by now.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay, you're here. I'm good to hear you. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Yeah, I finally got I don't know what I did. I pushed a million buttons on this thing, Mike, and I got the display down below reading back where it's supposed to be. Anyway, this thing is too complicated for me. I need to go back to the transverter days where I know what was going on. Back to you there, Mikey, A6S.
Yeah, good. Okay, no problem. And I don't know whether we're going to have Ron in here tonight or not, but maybe in a couple minutes we can swing over toward Atascadero and see if you can wake up Ron there. You can go that way now if you want and make a couple of calls and see if he's there.
Yeah, Roger, I'll do that, Mike.
Okay. And then I don't know about Ralph. I think they canceled all the nets, but I'm not sure if Ralph actually canceled. I did not get Ralph on 222 because there was nobody in here to get him. And I figured if they cancel all the other nets, he may have canceled his. But Ralph may be there tonight. I don't know. Over.
Yeah, Roger. We'll check there, too. I'll go down right now for Ron and see if he's there.
All righty. In the meantime, we'll take standby and see who else is here in the in the San Joaquin Valley. I'm pointed over toward Tom there. Tom, I think you're the only one that has 1296 in your area. I don't think KB6LE has it yet, and I don't think that W6 toasted peanut butter has it yet either.
W6QUI, 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 AA6S, over.
Yeah, I know how it is.
W6QUI, W6QUI, AA6S.
I'm standing by for the moment. Mike is calling W6QUI. Stand by.
I don't hear anybody, Bill.
I'm not hearing anybody. How about you?
No, I just said I don't hear anybody.
Yeah, me neither. I hear you. That's about it. Hey, I don't know what I did, but I kept pushing buttons, and the display came back to where it says 1296 on the lower thing again instead of 1260. Now, what the heck I did, I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to head back down to see if I can get Ralph.
Roger, Roger. Okay, I'll keep going here with you, Tom, and then I'm pointed at the Bay Area, so maybe somebody in the Bay Area can check in here. Anybody that hears this in the Bay Area, please take a moment and check in here. Everybody will stand by for you. K6MYC and the Bozo Net standing by for check-ins from the Bay Area or any place for that matter, over. Yeah, good evening, Fred, and we missed you on 222 last night. We thought sure you'd be there, but we didn't ever hear you. I don't think they had you locked at work, so you must have been out doing something fun, over. I thought I was the only one that didn't know what day it was. Isn't that fun, huh? Yeah, we are supposed to get rain late in the evening, but not a very high chance and maybe only a quarter of an inch. So I'm not expecting a lot of rain, but we'll be happy to get it. We're getting a little bit of water in our water abatement reservoir. Fire abatement reservoir, I should say, over. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you as well. It would have been better to give it to you yesterday on 222, but let's just assume that you forgot, and today is Monday for a few minutes here. Merry Christmas, Fred, and Happy New Year. Well, I sure will work you before New Year comes, but on the outside chance that you forget again, we won't take a chance on that. Anyway, pretty good signal. You're not bodacious here, but I could probably pick you up a little bit there. I haven't heard anybody else in the Bay Area, and we only had one other station in the Bay Area yesterday. Ed, WA6AAJ, was the only one that checked in on 222, over. Yeah, the beacon was on most of the day. He had it off for about an hour in the morning while he was raising the antenna. but the beacon from Frank W6BBS is on. It's on 432.260, but it won't be on during nighttime hours. It's only on from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. To conserve battery usage and use the power when he has the sun. Over. Well, right now it's running 10. He'll be running 10 watts, I think, until we find out who can hear it and who can't. And if we can turn it back to 5, we will. But right now, it's a struggle for some people to hear it even at 10. Over. Well, that's good. Frank, did you hear that? You're being heard in Cupertino. The beacon being heard in Cupertino earlier today, Frank. Over.
Okay, Roger. That's good. That's good. Maybe have guys just every once in a while tell them to email me w6bbs@w6bbs.com and send me reports if they want. But I appreciate that, knowing that we're getting something done here. Over.
Roger. Frank has an email, and you'd like to get a quick email from you on the report, signal strength, and what hours you heard it. It's w6bbs@w6bbs.com. That information will be on the website, the Bozo Net website soon, but I haven't been able to get a hold of Jim W6PQL to have him add it to that. So that'll be on the website before too long regarding the beacon. And we'll also have beacons on the long term on 222, 2 meters, 222, 432, and 1296. That's the plan. Right now the beacon is running 5 watts or 10 watts into an M-squared egg beater at about 30 feet, I think. Now about 30 feet up, right, Frank?
Negative. It is now at about 42 feet. 42 feet, running 10 watts. Over.
Okay, well, sorry, yeah. It's about 42 feet. Frank is at 2,400 feet already elevation, so the beacon's up above his ground there at 42 feet and 10 watts. Fred, over. At w6bbs@w6bbs.com.
Or they can get the link on QRZ. If they QRZ me, the link is there.
Yeah, he's okay on QRZ.com also. Alrighty, let's take a standby and see if anybody else is floating around in the Bay Area. Bay Area. Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie on the Bozo Net, standing by for Bay Area check-ins or anyone. Over. Yeah, there he is, like a clock. Keeps coming around and checking in every time. Good evening, Ed. Good signal. Booming over here. And you probably were copying Fred okay there. And you probably have all the information. Minor changes on the beacon today in terms of your participation, but it's up a little higher now, 42 feet and 10 watts until we know otherwise, and still on the egg beater. So we raised the power because he put about 2 or 3 dB of feed line extra loss in there to get it up at 42 feet, so that's why he pushed the power up to 10 watts. Over. Okay. And I haven't heard anything from Jim for several days now, W6PQ. I don't know whether he's traveling or whether he's just resting. But he hasn't checked in on his favorite band. This is his favorite band. He's got to be here. If he can take a breath and he's still above the grass, he should be on 1296. W6PQL, K6MYC. I heard a voice in there. Give me more voice, and I'll tune for you. Over. you're very loud. I just had you in the first signal, Jim, so very loud signal. Good to hear you. Merry Christmas belated, and Happy New Year coming up. Good to hear you. Hopefully you're having an enjoyable, restful time. Do you have anybody, any of your kids there? It was a ham weekend, wasn't it? Okay, very good. I just slammed my pen down to put the cap on it, and the kid jumped off and went somewhere into Never Never Land here. Oh, here it is. Okay. Anyway, got it. And good to hear you. And okay on your son visiting, and have good meals. My other son came over here today, and we went out to dinner about 4 o'clock and had an early dinner. We're back now, and he's putting together a AR-22, AR-44 kit. I don't know what an AR-44 is, do you? What's the AR number? I got the wrong number. AR what? AR-22? I don't know. I don't know why it would be a 15. The caliber is 23 or something. Okay. Could be AR-15, Ed. Is that legitimate? I just, for some reason, I got a mental block on the number. Yeah, I guess that is, now that you say it, it sounds more normal. When it came out of my mouth, it didn't sound right. That's why, that's not right. Anyway, yeah, that's what he's putting together. He's got an upgraded homebrew model of that with some kit parts and stuff. And that was one of those kits that you do some machining if you want to. You can buy it in multiple different formats. But he machined some parts for the trigger portion and some other things, and he's in the house right now assembling it. It was a Christmas present. I think 3 of them ended up in the family here. Matt's got one, and Kenny's got one, and one of the other kids has got one too. Anyway, just a fun toy, and hopefully it'll never be really needed, but it's fun to have.
You might need it. Break, AA6S.
Well, guns are still legitimate. It doesn't matter what party you belong to, unless you don't believe in the Second Amendment, and you still have to abide by it as long as it's there. Anyway, okay. Yeah. Let's see. I'll go. What was that, Matt? What did you say, Jim? Yeah, I'm going to pick him up right now. I may have to move a little bit more up this way. Let me go a little further. KB6 Whiskey, Foxtrot Charlie. Mike, let's see if we can hear you. KB6 Whiskey, Foxtrot Charlie, K6 MYC, over. I don't hear him, Jim. Jim, are you still copying me? WB6JNN, boy, this thing is sharp, and it must have the speed too high on the rotator. Give me some more chatter, Jim.
Mike, Bill's trying to break in.
Roger, Roger, Jim. Roger, stand by. We've got a report coming in from the guys that are working, the LA guys. AA6 Sugar and WA6AAJ. Go ahead.
I think you're a little stronger. I'm at 300 degrees. Check Ralph in, no Joe. Check Ralph in, TSK, but no Joe. And he was strong here, and I think he needs the preamp worked on. He couldn't hear Mike, and he was over F9 here, so I don't know what's going on. In fact, he can barely hear me some of the time. I think he needs a better front end. K6MYC, AA6S. Back to you there.
Yeah, Roger, Bill. Got it all okay. We have Ralph check in. Sorry about his numb hearing mode, but maybe he'll recognize after a bit. Maybe, I can't imagine he has noise that would give him trouble, so it must be, maybe he's lost the preamp or something there. You're running more power than he is, and if you were hearing him okay, then it's clearly something wrong with the receive side. Okay, I'm not hearing Joe. That would not surprise me. But anyway, everything should be more back to normal, and we might be live streaming by this time next week. I'm in the process of getting the Cat 6 cable run to the barn. That may get accomplished in the next few days, and then we'll be able to stream from this location as well. Although right now I'm in the barn and I don't have that hooked up yet. So we probably are not streaming tonight, but that'll all get taken care of shortly. Thank you for the check-in, Bill, and I guess you never did hear W6QUI. Want to give him one more try?
Okay, I'll give him a shout again. I'll move the antenna.
Yeah, I can hear you call him. You're very weak, but I can hear you. But not readable very much, over. No go. Okay, no show. Very good. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Mike. You can tell him I copied no show.
He copied you, Bill.
Nothing.
Okay, 7-3, Bill, and we'll see you tomorrow night on 2 meters. We should be streaming from the home QTH there. That should be all back to normal for streaming and stuff. Anyway, 73s, and thanks for doing the leg work on the far out fellows there, over.
See you later.
Roger, 7-3. Okay, I'm still in the Bay Area. We'll scrape the bottom one more time for Bay Area stations. We should hear KB6BA or a couple of others, KT2G, K6MYC. Anybody in the Bay Area? Okay. What do you want to debate about it? Well, you mean you can't own them, but you can have them? Okay. Well, it wouldn't do any good. You wouldn't believe me anyway. You know, I think we'd be in big trouble if we didn't have guns to protect ourselves. Over. You know, when the government has all the guns and you don't, buddy, you don't want to live there. Okay. Okay, well, I didn't hear anybody else in the Bay Area. One more check. Bay Area, W6PQL, KT2G, KB6BA, K6KLY, and anybody else I've overlooked for some reason. K6MYC, Bozo Net, 1296. Anybody? Okay, we'll see you Wednesday. Whoever's on here, and I'm going to go up and see if I can hear anything from Oakley and Discovery Bay. Here we go.
Hey, Mike, I sure wish I could hear Ed. I sure would like to debate him on the Second Amendment there, KM6SRR.
You mean you couldn't copy Ed? He's just roaring in here.
I could just barely hear a little bit of him here, make out a couple sentences and then a few not.
Okay. Well, Ed will have to keep the Second Amendment thing alive until Rob can copy you one of these days. Right now, you're not getting to Rob, but he has a comment for you. But he has to hear yours first. Over. Well, okay. You're certainly pushing some hot buttons there, aren't you? I know, we're low. You and ABN, AB6SR. Okay. Okay, well, here we go. I'm going to rotate. Now, we'll be back maybe for late checks and missed, but that's a question mark. Okay, here we are up to Discovery Bay and Oakley. Discovery Bay first, since you've been more regular lately than the N6RO. So let's see. Are you there, Steve? N6 W6SW 793 K6MYC. Well, I had you in the first side lobe, or side null, so this should be a lot better, huh? Isn't that something? This array is pretty sharp. I'm at 305 right now. I was at 303, and that puts you in the first side null. Well, you're roaring in here. And let's see, Rob, can you find Steve tonight? He's very strong. Over.
Yeah, let me try again there. Sometimes when I go past him, I can never get back to him. I'm hearing a little bit.
Okay, how about you, Frank? You hearing Steve up there? Frank may not be able to rotate. I'm not sure whether he's got that rotator cable repaired yet or not. Frank, are you there? W6 BBS. I guess maybe he went back to cooking dinner for Jen or something. I don't know if he's still here. Sometimes he and Bill go away at the same time. WA6AAJ, are you still here, Mike? I think he's gone. Yeah, you sound like you're in the room here when I point at you. Big difference. Boy, the patterns are very clean tonight. There doesn't seem to be any diffusion of the signals. A lot of times those signals don't appear like that. You know, you just kind of wash through everything, and signals are kind of half-assed, but they're everywhere. Tonight it's very, very clean and defined. It's nice to see that. Let's see, Ken, are you in there? N6RO, K6MYC. Ken's taking a Christmas vacation, isn't he? Okay, let's see if Rob has found you. Maybe, Rob, do you need more chatter from SSW to peak on it?
Yeah, that'd be good. I did hear his call sign. Over.
Okay, he's copying you, but not very well, so he needs to swing this non-readable readout rotor back and forth a few times more, Steve. So tell me what you're up to for the next few days. Over. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, Steve, I was able to hear a little bit of that. W6SSW, KM6SRR. Roger, Steve. Yep, I'm picking you up just a little bit above my noise level. Once in a while, a word or two will dip down. So I'm in DM07. Good to hear you. Over. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too and your family. Thanks.
Yeah, it's going to make so much difference when you get that underneath a good rotator and get it a little bit higher there, Rob. You're going to hear a lot of the stuff that you're struggling with now, like gangbusters, because everybody's just roaring in here tonight. The only one I haven't heard a trace of was WKV6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, but I might not have had him. Might not have had it pointed right for him. Who is that? Somebody said something. Go ahead, please. I heard some voice in there. Did you hear that, Steve? Oh, there you are. Kilo Bravo 6. Is that you? Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie. Go ahead. A big signal now. We're getting you on some kind of a bounce. I'm pointed way up past Mount Diablo. I'm pointed almost to Clear Lake. So we got some kind of an odd path here. I didn't hear anything when I was pointed at you, so the path is not there tonight. Anyway, good signal. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and we'll see you probably tomorrow, Mike. KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, Daly City, K6MYC. Over. Sure, thank you. 7-3. Okay, well, that was unusual, but he does sometimes come in a lot further north than he should. I'm way past San Francisco and Daly City, I can tell you that. Anyway, good enough, Steve. We'll see you tomorrow night, and we should be back with the live streaming starting again tomorrow night. We're trying to get it set up here for the barn, but it probably won't be effective from the barn until next week. Starting next week, we should have live streaming from the barn on on the normal 2-meter system and the 1296 system, which both reside in the barn here. Good evening, W6SSW, K6MYC. Well, I'm glad it works for you guys. It's nice to be able to hear the stations that I can hear, so everybody knows what's going on. And pretty much, I think your copy is just as good as what my old tired ears and the Bluetooth are doing. Over. Anyway, yeah, it seems to be have really nice, clean. Doesn't seem to be any loss of readability. I don't think. Most everybody's hearing right down to the bare minimum. There's a few stations that sometimes are just what we would call well water weak or barely perceptive. Sometimes I can check them in because I recognize even the voice pattern or some grumbly part of their voice inflection or something, and I won't even really hear ever a call or anything. But if I know it's that person, he's trying, and we call them because we check them in because they're here. You know, that's what it is. It's all a matter of testing your equipment and making sure you're on the air and functioning. So I don't have to hear everything perfect, that's for sure. 7-3, Steve, we'll see you tomorrow. Lord willing, and the bay don't rise on you there. Roger. Okay, up to Sacramento. See what we can get here with Sacramento. I'm going to go a little bit past where I should go. Let's see what that does. This is Sacramento, and below past Sacramento, KR6MR. KR6MR, K6MYC. Any copy? K6 Whiskey India Sugar. I may have to turn up a little further for you, Paul. K6 Whiskey India Sugar, K6MYC, over. K6 Whiskey India Sugar. I'll go further north yet. K6, what time is it, Rob?
8:11.
Oh boy, I'm late. Maybe we ought to go right to Reno, Nevada right now. Let me go to Nevada right now. Okay, let's see. Nevada. KE7UQL and N7 Whiskey Tango. KE7UQL, N7 Whiskey Tango. KE7UQL. KE7UQL and N7 Whiskey Tango. K6MYC, calling and listening. Okay, I don't hear anything at the moment, but that's not unusual. KE7UQL. 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 N7 Whiskey Tango. N7WT. N7WT. KE7 Whiskey Tango. K6MYC, calling and listening. Okay. Well, hopefully we got him. Larry was there last night. He's indicated he would be here, and I think Daniel's there as well. Daniel checked in on 222 at 432 last week, so 1296 has got to be in the package. I think he said last night he would try to be here. So we'll just chatter a little bit here on the frequency. Rob, let's see if Frank is back. Frank, are you back?
Roger. Sorry about that. I took a phone call from KM6HK, and I am here, sir.
Okay. Well, we were trying to get you to say hello to Steve up there in Discovery Bay. He was very loud. And we did not hear him, Ken in 6RO, but we had Steve in here. Good. Now I'm in toward Nevada.
Yeah, Roger. I've been back for a few minutes, and I'm pointed at Nevada as well and listening, but not hearing anything. Over.
Yep, same here. Okay. I didn't get a lot done today, by the way. My son got here just about 11 in the morning, and we went out for a ride and took quite a while riding, went down by the creek and all that sort of stuff. And then got back and sat around for a few minutes, relaxed, and then by that time it was almost 2 o'clock, so 3 o'clock, and we decided to go for an early dinner. So we drove back into Fresno and had a nice dinner at Pismos, and got back here just about 5:30, I think, 5:30, quarter to 6 before we got back here, just on the last of Hannity. So we got back in plenty of time. He's in the house putting a AR-15 together, and he got that for Christmas. There's 3 kits that were circulated around the Stahl family, and he made some parts for them. And there's a kit that YouTube and everything, you assemble it by that guy tells you how to put the springs here and the dowel pins here and so on and so forth. So he's in the house doing that right now.
Oh, yeah, roger that. You know, that's funny because I had it in my mind shortly before the net that you might be a little bit late in that you were going somewhere with somebody, or somebody was going to be there, something was going on, and for the life of me, I could not figure out who it was you were running around with. Your son. I just totally forgot it. So, anyways, not too much going on here. My day was split up between running a couple of different chainsaws, and of course I did that little antenna project and got that up there, and then just hanging out with the wife. We did 2 cookouts today. We've got a new thing we're barbecuing now. We're having barbecued pizza. She brought a pizza home the other day, and so we had a few slices left over. And so I got this wild idea, and I threw it in the microwave for about 45 seconds just to get it slightly warm. And then on my bed of coals, I just threw it on the grill for a couple of minutes, and it toasted the dough. Just the pizza dough was just like a perfectly toasted little, almost like a cracker or a cookie. It wasn't hard and like you couldn't chew it, but it was a little bit brittle, and it was so tasty. It was just so good. Jen was like, "Oh, this is good. We got a new thing to barbecue now, pizza." And by that time, that should have made a little noise and maybe attracted some attention up there in towards Nevada, if anybody's around. K6MYC, W6BBS.
And we'll make another call up that way. N7 Whiskey Tango, N7WT, N7 Whiskey Tango, N7WT, 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 N7WT. I'm rocking the antenna back and forth here. N7WT, N7 Whiskey Tango, KE7UQL, Kilo Echo 7 Whiskey, Uniform Quebec Lima, KE7UQL, K6MYC Bozo Net, calling and listening. Roger, N7WT, N7WT, Q5 with heavy Queen Sugar Baker, Q5 with heavy Queen Sugar Baker. Good to hear you. Merry Christmas again, Larry. Merry Christmas, Larry. Good copy from 657. N7WT, K6MYC, over. Okay, how about KE7UQL? Daniel, are you there? KE7UQL? 711. Roger, Mike. John, hang on. Okay. You faded out on me, Larry. You faded out, but we got your Rogers. N7WT. Roger, 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 Roger. Roger, Roger, Roger. N7WT, K6MYC. Got you all okay? 73, 73, 73. We haven't heard Daniel yet. KE7UQL, K6MYC. Daniel, over. It's unusual. Daniel was booming in yesterday on 222 and really good on 432 on Thursday. So I'm not sure where he is tonight. Maybe he has some kind of commitment tonight. AE7UQL, K6MYC, calling and listening. Well, nothing heard so far. Did you hear an ECW, Frank?
Haven't heard a thing.
Okay. Yeah, I just think you've got some blockage there yet.
Oh, yeah, I'm seriously blocked in this direction. I'm just pointing, my antennas are pointed at the bank and into pine trees and everything else.
Okay.
Don't forget John. Hey, K6MI, W6BBS.
Got you, John. I got you. Hang on, I'm still listening for Larry. He's sending CW. Hang on.
I stand by, John.
Okay, Roger, Larry. 73, Larry. We got you. 7373, Larry. I don't know if he's having trouble copying me or not. 73, Larry. We got you. N7WT, K6MYC. 7373. God, if I can hear his 10 watts, he ought to hear my 600, wouldn't you think?
You would think. Can I holler at John now?
Oh, I'm good. Just listening in. Evening to everybody, K6MI.
Yeah, it's K6USY. I haven't heard him yet tonight. Is he in here?
Yes, Mike, I am here. I've been listening off the beam, but I don't want to transmit on it because I still need to. I need to tweak it a little bit for SWR, so I had to wait until you had a good signal on my vertical. K6USY 1079.
You mean you're not hearing me better on the antenna?
I hear you better on the beam, but I don't want to transmit on it because my SWR is a little high. I need to go back up to the roof and tweak it a little bit.
But do you know how to tweak it?
Yeah, don't you just kind of bend it in, or well, that's what I was going to ask you, but do you just bend that driven element in and out, or what?
Very, very small incremental bends. Tilting it forward, use a quarter-inch Phillips head screwdriver, stick it into the loop near the end and tweak it, but hold the body of the thing so you don't rip the screw loose. On one side, it's solid rod, so it's very stiff on one side. So you have to kind of support the cable connector where it goes in the cable connector and that whole body where it's screwed to the boom. Support that when you do this, and then you can flare the tips of the element, the driven element, forward and back slightly, just very slightly. A 16th of an inch increment should tell you which direction you're going over.
Okay, yeah, very good, Mike. I can do that. The antenna's very easy to reach where I put it. I also needed to muck with if I had it mounted too close to another antenna. So, but yeah, I had enough time to get it on the roof, but I didn't have time to tune it. And when I put the analyzer on it, this frequency is right at the top of a hill on the SWR curve with valleys on either side. So I just need to tweak it a little bit to get the SWR down lower.
It doesn't sound right. I had the SWR so that it was on the side of a slope going up, but not up. It hadn't started up yet, so that's odd that it would have changed, unless you bent something getting it home or something. Over.
No, I didn't get bent too much, so yeah, I'll play with it. As I said, it might also just be because I mounted it right below my 6-meter loop, and I might have mounted it a little too close to the support bracket for the 6-meter antenna.
Now, before you do anything, rotate it 90 or 45 degrees to where it is, and see if that reservoir changes. You should not have any interaction to 6 meters.
Right, but there's a bracket for the 6 meter loop that's coming in to the mast, and it's right above where the beam is mounted.
Yeah, but you should be pointed in the direction of that bracket.
Well, I'm pointed at the bracket's pointing due north, and the antenna's pointed at about 24 degrees. I took the bearing for your house and Rob and split it in half, and that was about 24 degrees, and that's the direction I pointed it.
Okay, and still, I don't think the 6 meter that rod should not be affecting you, but it remains to be seen. It looks vertical to the antenna because it slopes upward from this. That's the support piece that come down from the center, right?
Exactly. Yes. And then of course there's a bracket on the mast there. So yeah, I'll tweak with it, and I have an analyzer. But yeah, it was it was really weird when I put the analyzer on there to find out that I was right at the top of an SWR curve that puts me at about like 2.5, and it's just enough to upset the 9700, and it doesn't want to put out full power. So I just need to get it to. I just need to shift it just enough to get it so that the radio puts out full 10 watts.
Okay, I'm going to tell you that doesn't sound right. So you can get PSWR ships with coax. So if the coax, you might just try changing the length of the coax. If you got another short jumper on the home side, just put another little jumper of coax in there and see if the reservoir doesn't change radically. If it does, then you've got a reservoir on the coax problem that's causing that. Over.
I don't think I have any other pieces of coax with in connectors, but that is a good idea. I might, with some adapters, I might be able to just temporarily throw something in there just to change the length.
Well, you could put 2 adapters in series or 3 adapters in series. You don't want PL259s in there anywhere, but if you have barrels and male and female barrels, just couple a couple of those together, and that'll give you enough length to do what you want to do. But the reservoir curve had a null at 1296, and I know I was on the frequency right because I had it tuned in the radio when I was listening to the sweeper, and I could manually tune across the frequency, and it was nulled, and pretty much the lowest I could get it at the null rather than the peak. I had the ripples that you're talking about, but it wasn't out of the band. It wasn't like you described. So it was just the opposite. You should have had a null instead of a peak. So something's not right, and maybe you should take it back in the house and put it on a short length of coax and take a look at it. You can do this almost in the house if you aim it out a window or something. Over.
Yeah, the problem is I don't have any coax to do that with. So, and as I said, where I have it up on the roof, I can literally just sit on the roof and muck with it. So it's fine where it is. I just need to figure out where the issue is. And for all I know, it's the connectors that I put on the LMR 600 because I had to install those myself. So, and it's the first time I've ever had to do LMR 600. So yeah, it's not faulting the antenna. It could totally be my problem.
Do you have a VNA?
Yeah, yes, I do.
Well, just put a termination on the end of your 600 where the antenna connects. Put a termination there and see what the coax looks like. If it's full of ripple, then you've got a problem. Over.
I do not have a terminator, so there's a lot of things that I don't have that would make testing things easier, and I just don't have them.
When you got the VNA, they usually come with a couple of terminations, don't they?
Yeah, if I'd have to adapt it, that would work.
Well, what are they, SMAs?
Yeah, they're SMAs. No, that's a good point, because I could use the shorted out terminator and stick it on there.
Yeah. Well, next time you're up at the house, I'll give you a couple of terminations.
But yeah, I'll hopefully on Saturday I'll have time to go up there and tweak it, and then it should be, as I said, it's not completely out of line. It just needs to be tweaked a little bit.
Oh, but it's not the antenna. You're missing the point. I don't think the visvar is coming from the antenna. If you tweak the antenna, you'll just screw it up. Over.
Okay.
This is the way 1296 is. It doesn't take very much of a cable lump or cable error to give you some visvar that's transforming some mismatch. There may be a little mismatch at the antenna, but it can get transformed to something really bad every other quarter, every quarter wave, every odd quarter wave or so. Anyway, I'm just saying don't do any tweaking on the antenna until you're absolutely certain that that's where it is.
Yeah, well, I'll have to... the other complication is I already waterproofed it, which I shouldn't have done. So if I got to disconnect it, I got to tear all the waterproofing off. But yeah, that's fine. We'll mess with it on Saturday. K6USY.
Yeah, you shouldn't have had to put any waterproofing on there. The end connectors have a built-in seal. I wouldn't have done that. You never put seal and close up a coax connector until you're absolutely certain everything's working. Otherwise, you're going to do just what you don't want to do now, take all the seal off. And if it doesn't make sense, just bring it back on Saturday and we'll put it back on the sweeper and look at it again, over.
Well, I don't know if I'll have time to head up to your place on Saturday, but yeah, I could run it back up the hill if I needed to.
Oh, I thought I thought when you said you don't have time to Saturday to muck with it. I don't know, whenever. But yeah, if you could get here before next Tuesday, then that's bring it with you. If you can't, then you'll just have to fake it. Or you can bring it up after Tuesday next week, who knows. Anyway, I've got partial cable started to get run. I got the cable out there and I just didn't string it today. I got interrupted. Anyway, I wouldn't make tweakies on the antenna until you're absolutely sure. Next time you're up, let me give you some coax jumpers too, so you can play around with stuff in the shack without going to the full length of the piece of coax you're dealing with.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm still at the point where I'm, buying coax as I need it, and I haven't gotten to the point where I have extra jumpers and links. Everything I have, I'm using.
But I got dozens of crap, boxes and boxes of short lengths of coax that I don't use anymore. Over.
Yep, sounds good. But it definitely hears a lot better. That's for sure. And I think I got it at least pointed in the right direction for hearing you. So at least that part's working.
I don't think there's any problem with the antenna. I think the antenna is okay, and the viswar that's in the coax won't make it sound good or bad. It's just going to affect the radio's transmit. Anyway, we can talk about it some more maybe after you get a chance to look at it a little further. Good evening, and I got you checked in here, K6USY 1079. We take one more standby for Daniel, KE7UQL. We've been talking quite a while, Daniel. Any copy up there, KE7UQL, K6MYC, over? I don't think Daniel's there tonight, so I guess we'll give up on Daniel. We made it with Larry. So I think we're done except to try and go back to KR6MR. Okay, KR6MR, KW6T, K6 Whiskey India Sugar. Any of you three? K6 Whiskey India Sugar, KW6T, KR6MR, K6MYC, calling and listening. Gee, I checked to Paul earlier. I thought he would stick around, but apparently he didn't. Not hearing anybody, so I guess we'll go back to the Bay Area for late checks and missed and call it a night, guys. Okay, Bay Area, late checks are missed. K6MYC Bozo Net. Anybody left in the Bay Area? W6P2QUL, K22G, KB6BA, K6KLY. Anybody? K6MYC. I guess we're done with the net, guys. Frank, have a good evening. Rob, you're back, I guess, but things not working real good tonight. I'm surprised. I thought the band was really strong from everybody except Larry. So I'm not sure why you weren't hearing better, but who knows. Anyway, Aaron, 73 to you. John, if you're still listening here, good evening.
All right, talking to Ralph on the radio, on the phone.
Okay, give him our best wishes from the Northern California Bozo Net.
I meant Frank. Okay, K6MI.
Talking to Frank on the phone. Okay, we don't know whether he's talking to Ralph or Frank. Is he talking to you, Frank? Must be talking to Frank. Frank's not answering.
That's what it sounded like to me, KM6SRR.
Okay, well, good night, Rob. Merry Christmas to you and Candy, and we'll see you tomorrow. KM6SRR. And the group, I got more check-ins tonight than I got on the other two nights on both bands, so we did better tonight. I got about 18 check-ins here, so not too bad, all things considered. 7-3.
Okay, Mike, K6MYC, KM6SR. Merry Christmas, and talk to you tomorrow.
Roger, Roger, Rob. 7-3 all.